8 overs is all that it takes. The Sunrisers Hyderabad to register a thumping win over RCB. They perhaps send a message to the rest of the league that they have moved perhaps from dark horses to serious contenders as they gather momentum in this year's IPL. Just two batters getting into double figures in an innings and a game that RCB would like to forget as soon as possible. We look back at it all with Dan Vettori on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout, powered by IQ 9 5G. I thought your first day would be perfect because there'd be an RCB game and they're looking good, they're in some form. This is the worst possible RCB experience for you, unless, of course, you've moved on from your days with RCB.
Well, I predicted Sunrisers as soon as they won the toss, so continue on their form. But the complete performance by Sunrisers, I think if you draw up a performance as a coaching staff or as a captain, this is what it looks like. And it was started with obviously that over by Marco Jansen, and then everyone else played their part, and not only the bowlers but the fielders. There was some great catching, Nicholas Pooran, and then when you're chasing that small total, it can go one of two ways, and Abhishek Sharma came out and just took the game away.
From what we're seeing of the Sunrisers bowling attack, does this sort of game have an impact on the rest of the league, on other teams, that suddenly when they face up against Marco Jansen or Bhuvneshwar Kumar, everyone's going to be, okay, we perhaps can't take them on. These are not the sort of, this is a different bowling attack to what we're seeing otherwise in the league.
I think they've come up on surfaces that they enjoy as a bowling unit, and we've mentioned a few times around the toss as well. So I think we'll say they're the full package when they lose a toss and win a game. I think that's what we need to see from them. But I think what is happening is they're breeding the confidence in their game plan. They know who's going to bowl on that power play. They're obviously going to save Nataraja and Bhuvneshwar for the death. They can use Jansen all over the place, and they're going to use Umar and Malik throughout the middle as an aggressive attacking option. So I think from the captaincy for Kane, he knows what to expect every game. They get Sundar back, and then they all of a sudden feel like a complete team.
Has it at all surprised you that Marco Jansen's had this sort of instant impact in T20 cricket? We know he has ability, but we don't often see players have success immediately in the IPL.
I'd say no, because of how successful he's been in international cricket. And once again, he's got on some surfaces that have suited him. I think Kane's used them extremely well. He's been at the top of the order where he's at his most dangerous in terms of the new ball. And he's just bowled well. So I think all those things have gone in his favour, and he's rewarded Sunrisers for that faith.
Would you call this the Moneyball team of the year almost? You look at that four-man bowling attack, and that's a total of, I think, 16 crore as against big money paid, where not and whatnot, and with teams that are really struggling at the bottom of the table.
Well, I'd like to go back to post-auction and erase my comments around the Sunrisers team, because I thought they would struggle with the balance of their lineup. But like we've talked about, they've either stumbled on a formula or they've planned for this, and either way, it's getting the result that they would like. And I think we should underestimate the fact that Natarajan coming back into the team and the form that he's shown has given. I think he's been able to balance out that attack in a lot of ways, and he's been able to bowl anywhere, but we also know how exceptional he can be at the death. So I think him coming back into the team for a low price has helped them exceptionally. Yeah,
I mean, we've seen RCB and other teams also just initiate counterattacks, even if they've lost a few at the top. Maybe not all three of Kohli, Maxwell and Faf, but it's important that the bowlers number 3 and 4 put in the work, and Natarajan's done that. If he is at his best, and are you seeing him at his best now, how close is he to making an Indian first 11 just with the skill set that he has?
Well, I think he comes into play because of the skill set, because of what he brings to the death. And we see time and time again how hard it is to bowl at the death, how hard it is to execute, and how rarely a bowler does it consistently. And Natarajan's got enough of a track record to suggest that he can pull it off. So he may not force his way into a playing 11, but in a 15-man squad, he gives Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid so many options around their selection.
All right. Now, at some point, there will be a selection call that will have to be made on some of the senior Indian players, but let's leave that for another day. For now, RCB, game like this, if you were to manage it, would you manage it at all? Would you just say, no, we're not going to talk about this game, we're just going to move on?
I don't think it happened. I think in their minds, I think the only thing, because these games seem to happen for every team once a tournament, and whether you can plan for it a little bit better would be the only thinking, and plan around this type of surface, losing the toss and these conditions against this bowling attack. And I think they'll play Sunrisers again. I don't think they've played them twice already. So, look, I think they can work towards that second game, but cricketers do have a short memory, and also realise that RCB has been playing some some very good cricket, and so their planning will go into the next game rather than debriefing this one.
They do have another game against the Sunrisers. It's an afternoon game on the 8th of May, so I don't know if that changes anything, but it's still a while to go. Would you at all look to manage the Kohli situation in any way? You already stressed your points, but is there anything that you do differently after a day like this?
No, I don't think so. I think, like I said before, I think it'll be up to the individual, it'll be up to Kohli and his experience and his understanding of himself, how he'll manage his way out of it. Because I think in the end, if you try to help, you'll just get in the way, and you'll probably say the wrong thing, and you'll probably alienate him. So it's easier just to say, Virat, we trust you completely, and we'll see you at the back end of the tournament where you'll win some games for us.
Finally, with the Sunrisers, this whole thing of Kane winning tosses is fun and chasing. But would the team at all think about the fact that they've not been put under the pump by batting first? Would that ever come across your mind?
No. IPL's about winning, and I think you can't experiment. You've just got to factor into what's the most important thing on the day. And I think the challenge for Sunrisers will be like Gujarat today, when they sense the wicket would be better to bat on. Will Sunrisers have the confidence to change up what's been working for them because of the surfaces? So that would be the only challenge within their own minds. I think because they've won 5 in a row now with tosses, that it'll be hard for them to pull back from that. But that will be the only time they contemplate maybe changing it.
All right, we'll leave it there. 28 overs of work for you. Enjoyed your first day with us, in addition to the 40 in the morning.
Well, I think you were concerned about my jet lag, so you had to get me out of here early.
All right, we leave it there. Big thank you to Daniel Vettori, who's with us now as the IPL continues to roll on. Mumbai Lucknow tomorrow. Will it be an unprecedented 8th loss for Mumbai, or will they spoil Lucknow and KL Rahul's party at the Wankhede? Join us then as the reverse fixtures begin in this year's IPL on Sunday. So 7 o'clock, just the one game on Sunday, no double headers. I think even the IPL is trying to keep Dan's jet lag intact. So we'll see you tomorrow on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket Info T20 Timeout, powered by IQ 9 5G. Before I leave you though, the Maruti Suzuki Driving School poll of the day. Which bowler would have conceded the fewest runs is the question we asked in their 4 overs in this game. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar in that list. Hasaranga Natarajan didn't bowl his 4. But that 10 that he conceded of his 3 is quite low. 8 runs conceded by Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. If we're looking at bowlers that have bowled 4, then it was only Marco Jansen and Umran Malik who completed their quota. Just get active with the Maruti Suzuki Driving School poll of the day every day. We'll see you tomorrow for Mumbai Lucknow, and that is where the points table stands. RCB are at 4, and Sunrisers have taken a top 2 player spot. That could be vital. They've also jumped that net run rate, which took a real beating after the game against the Rajasthan Royals, who sit at number 3. So, Lucknow Super Giants will be aiming to join that top 4. We'll see you for that one tomorrow. Good night.